Welcome back. It's season 3, and I'm by myself. I'm going to be reviewing season 3 by myself. I'm not going to subject Melanie to these episodes. She did her time. I'm not going to make her do any more crime for this. Yeah, but season 3, yay! Oh, I'm torturing myself with this show. That's because I'm a mark for wrestling, I guess, and I'm a mark for just behind the scenes shit, maybe. I don't know. People seem to like watching these things. You like giving them thumbs down, so I'm gonna keep doing them. So this took place after a little bit after WrestleMania 30 and maybe a little bit before. This is all the shit with the Divas that was not important because we all know after WrestleMania 30, AJ Lee lost her belt to Paige, brought up from NXT, and then we've had this great run with Paige with the women's belt and her back and forth with AJ, and unfortunately now Nikki Bella has been thrown in. Wait, let me just before I review the episode, let me get into something that's logistics. When somebody turns heel, especially against the guy that or the girl in this case that was giving them the most grief, it's like, oh, we're friends now. It's like you put me in 3-on-1 and 4-on-1 handicap matches. Just because I hate my sister doesn't mean we're all buddy-buddy. I mean, we gotta change the way that we book heels. I know that's legitimately making them tweeners, but you know what? Consistent writing should be consistent, not just like, oh, they're heel now, so they should be friends with all the heels. If Nikki starts befriending all the girls that beat her up in those handicap matches, it's the most retarded thing ever. Anyways, on to the episode. We start off with Eva Marie and Jonathan getting engagement photos done, which not a big problem. They're doing it basically in their underwear, and Eva's doing like most of the photos herself because obviously the camera is just like, get out of here. Oh, love it, Eva, leave it, you love it, love it, love it. John like, I want a picture too. No, your turn comes soon, baby. Okay, Eva, let's go. You're happy, you're sexy. Like, retarded. Anyway, I thought this was going to be just like their own little thing. Like, people get engagement photos done all the time. And they, just put them up on Facebook. Not them, no. They're going to be like, oh, this is going to be part of the invitation because they're going to do a ceremony. I'm like, you don't take lingerie photos and give them out to friends and family. You're nuts. So yeah, they're going to have their own. They're going to have their own ceremony because they pissed off so many people by eloping. They're just like, okay, we'll unpiss them off by having an actual ceremony. And also, this is basically there's 3 different stories going on here. It's Eva Marie and her husband with the wedding. There's Nikki Bella and she wanting to get her eggs frozen because John Cena hit her with some, here's a hypothetical situation. I'll say this is going to happen, but if I were to ask you to marry me, would that be enough? Would you shut up about everything else? Basically, it's like, bitch, I'll ask you to marry me, just stop asking me about goddamn kids. So she's like, I don't know if that's the thing, and then again, I don't know if John's the one, so she's going to go get her eggs frozen so that at 40 she can have a kid and then pass away before the kid matures. I don't know. I don't want. That's the thing about having kids too early, too late. There's a fine line, and in your 40s, that's a little bit too late. Also, it's the return of Eva Mendes. No, is it Eva? Oh God, Rosa Mendes. Why did I wrote down Eva Mendes? Oh God, they all sound the goddamn same. It's still the goddamn same person. I asked them for ice cream. Both of them would say yes. Points if you know what that's from. So for the uninitiated, Rosa Mendes, besides Natalia, is probably the diva on the roster with the most seniority. She's been there pretty much for, I think, 7 or 8 years. Like, she debuted when Trish Stratus was still in the WWE. That's how long her tenure is. She was last seen as the manager for Epico and Primo before WWE fucked over their careers. It's like, hey, I think Vince was just like, that Epico and Primo, they're got that lucha style. You know what you should do? Make them matadors. it's like, Vince, you did that to Tito Santana and you fucked up his career. Damn it, I want matadors! And I want a midget in a bull outfit. But what happened, though, with Rosa Mendes is that she got really fucking drunk on an overseas tour and sent home. Wellness policy suspension and all that. But under the WWE umbrella, if you've ever worked for them or currently working for them, if you have problems, they will pay for rehab. So she's been off television for almost a year, which is hard to believe. That's been that long. So she's been off television for a year. And yeah, so she's been placed in the care of Natty because she's also the senior diva there. So just basically, talent relations guys has been like, look, just look after her. We want her to do well. Make sure she stays out of trouble. If she doesn't, we'll let her go. Natty was a little hesitant at first, but she's like, oh, let's get all this stuff put on me now. Let's just add this on top. Had me babysit Eva and JoJo, and then that never went anywhere. I wanted a Divas match. That never went anywhere. So there you go. So Rosa is going to be traveling with Natty to the shows. So Eva starts showing everyone their photos, and our cameo, our non-Divas cameo, now there's like at least one every episode from a non-WWE for a superstar that's not part of the main show, meaning like you're not a boyfriend or a husband of one of the divas. So you're always going to see one of the Usos on there because they're married to Trinity. You're going to see John Cena because they're dating Nikki. You're going to see Daniel Bryan because he's married to Brie. God, is there any other guy that's dating anyone right now on the Total Divas roster? I don't think so. I think that's it. Everyone else is just, you know, you got Jonathan, who's not a WWE guy, and you got Vinny, Cameron's boyfriend, who's not a WWE guy. Which, if you ever want to watch an episode of something like super hilarious, watch the one where Vinny goes down to NXT, the Performance Center, the training facility, and watch Bill DeMott run him through the ropes, like run him through, like, you know, doing bumps, running the ropes, doing, you know, squats and all that, and just like yelling at him, making him puke. It's the funniest thing ever. Because listen, kids, that's what wrestling school's like. They get you in there, you run the ropes, you do a whole whack of shit until you get it right, or you puke, or you quit. Speaking from first-hand knowledge here. So I went to a wrestling school. Wasn't that I couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle it. Fully admit that. Just personal reasons. Want to spend time with my dad before he passed on. Just, I said it before in plenty of videos. Don't need to repeat it here. Anyway, so Eva's showing photos to everyone. So today's cameo from a WWE superstar is Titus O'Neil. You know, the big old muscly guy that dropped Darren Young like a bad habit. The guy that goes, "Arr, arr, arr, arr," who is my super rare card in the WWE Supercard mobile game. Actually, not a bad game. It's free. There's in-app purchases, but there's nothing in there that will like hinder your ability to play against other people. So, highly recommend it. It's on iOS and Android. Go download it. Did you download the WWE app? You should download the WWE app. No, I'm just kidding. Don't download that. Anyways, yeah, I wrote down here. Obviously, it's like the week after WrestleMania. No mention of Paige and AJ Lee, the divas we actually care about and are actually talented. Okay, so so go back to the discussion with Nikki about freezing her eggs, and they just like, ooh, you should get that done. Wait, what does that actually do? I don't know. Let's Google it. They pair their phones and Google it. Listen, kids, you ever want anything done? Google it. People like call me about your fucking cell phones. Google it first. You might be surprised. Alright, I mentioned the babysitting of Rosa, but they also mentioned the absence of Summer Rae because she's out filming the Marine 4 with The Miz. And everyone's like, anyone talk to Summer Rae? I know she's been out doing the filming, and then there's like a dead silence, and the talent relations guys are like, okay, moving on then. I guess we don't want to talk about her then. It's like, she's making a WWE film. So what? That's a big deal. We're going to have Miz come back, and he's going to be all Hollywood. I'm like, wouldn't that make sense for Batista, who's actually in a movie? A real movie? not in some directed DVD bullshit that no one will buy, and fans will make reviews of on the internet and make fun of it. Let's see here. Okay, so Eva Marie and Jonathan go down to Eva's parents and tell them about the wedding ceremony. And for once, the family's not trying to kill them. It's just like going like, no, flat out no. I don't like this. They're like, awesome, we're going to have a wedding. This is great. And then they show them the pictures. It's like, this is not right. Like, go keep this at home. These should be in your bedroom. You know, keep the photos at home. Which makes sense. Cut back to Nikki and Bree at the doctor's office going through the procedures. They want you to, they're going to take a blood sample during your 3rd day of your cycle. And I'm like, what's that? Oh, God, no, don't say the P word. And they're like, I have to not drink during my period. And it's like, oh, shut up, Nikki. So apparently, to make sure that you have healthy fertilization or to make sure that you're fertile, no drinking, no sex, and no bumps in the ring. And it's just like, oh crap, I can't wrestle. I'm hoping this was taped before the 3-on-1 and 4-on-1 handicap matches, because ain't no one having a baby after those beatings. Let's see here. That's what I wrote on the notes here. Oh, and the drama continues. So they have the dinner, and all the brothers are over, and they're just like, we're having a ceremony. Oh, great. Oh, where are you going to get married? St. Michael, St. Catherine, St. Patrick? And they're just like, you're getting married at Catholic Church, right? And it's like, oh, John's not Catholic. And they're like, so what? Oh, he's Christian. And I'm like, so what? It's like, oh, he doesn't want to get married at Catholic Church. I'm just going to stop it right there. I'm not into any type of religious discussion on this channel whatsoever. If anyone wants to know what my beliefs are, I was born, we did go to church, it was a Christian church, but then when we were old enough to make a decision ourselves, I was like, okay, we've brought you to Sunday school so many times, we think we've taught you enough good values, it's up to you whether you want to continue down this path or not, and we all chose not to. Does that make us horrible people? No. We were raised on good beliefs, treat everyone with respect. But I've learned down the line, if I'm getting fucked on by dicks, I will tell them to fuck off. I'll turn the other cheek. I'll smack you in the cheek. But I still believe in good values and all that. So, yeah, like, no, like, this may be a big deal to others. I'm not going to get into that. Go believe whatever you want to believe. I just personally think it's stupid to have, you know, because it's just 2 different religions. I mean, don't we all worship the same floating spaghetti monster? Don't we all worship the same God? I'm pretty sure it's like we worship him in a different way. I don't know. I'm leaving religion talk out of it. Okay, so I'm going to avoid all talk about this as much as possible, but it does weigh heavily in this part of the story. So I will try to keep that out as much as possible. Let's see here. This had to be staged. I'm gonna take a drink here. This had to be staged. They brought an interior decorator to John Cena's house to do stuff. At the same time, this is the 3rd day of Nikki Bella's period, and they need to take blood work, so they have to do it at home. And John Cena has a huge mansion, so she sends him off to the way and be like, okay, let's hurry up, quick, draw the blood, and he's like, Nicole, where are you? And he's like, all right, take the blood, let's go. Wasn't that dramatic, but the music made it sound more dramatic. So she's like hiding out, she's like, oh crap, I got this thing taped off me, takes off, gets like paper towels, like, oh, what's that over there? Come on, wipe the blood away, makes everything good. Yeah, that definitely was staged. It was just like, it's like they're sitting there with their scripts. It's like, all right, so I got to be over in this part of the hall. It's like, oh, you're getting blood drawn? Well, why? It's like, oh, don't worry about it. It'll make sense on the episode. Like, all right. Let's see here. Oh, and the big controversy from the trailer that got taken down off the internet. Rosa Mendes blurred out boob and cooch. Natty walks in and she's like, I just want to show my naked body. I want to show the boob job I got while I was in rehab. It's like, yeah, you know, to get off substance abuse, you need to get a boob job, apparently. Honestly, I never noticed because besides her coming out with Epico and Primo, I never noticed Rosa Mendes, to be honest. Oh yeah, big revelation. Eva's dad had colon cancer when she was younger, and apparently he's back in remission and taking chemo shots. And this is the first she's hearing about it. And they're like, "Oh, we didn't want to worry you." I'm like, "It's cancer. You should tell them right away." You know, it's like, "Oh, we don't want you to worry." It's like, okay, yeah. When you were gonna tell me when he's like lost like 60 pounds and laying on a deathbed, it's like, "What's wrong with Dad?" "Oh, he's had cancer. He's had cancer for a few years." Personal. Okay, this is coming into personal stuff. As soon as they found out my dad had cancer, everybody knew. Just like, we have to tell everyone now. Because it's going to get hard. We don't know if he can beat it. Unfortunately for my dad, he did not beat it. Never even came close. It slowly rotted away at him. He had liver cancer, completely different from colon. But still, cancer is cancer. I mean, this is not something you keep from people. It's just like, "Oh, don't want to worry about you. You're on the road." It's like, first thing that counts, it's like, I think you should know your dad went into remission. He's still fighting it. Just thought I would let you know. Because apparently, not only that he has colon cancer, he's a freaking diabetic. So there's 2 shots there. There's your freaking insulin, and then there's your goddamn chemo. You're taking it in the hip. But God, that's just something that you don't fuck around with, man. Like, from personal experience, like, tell the person right away. It's all like, don't worry about worrying the person. Let them know so that they don't worry. It's like, okay, I know he has it. I know he's fighting it. It's just a wait and see now. Word from the doctor. Nikki Bella is fertile. Yay. So they managed to ultrasound up her cooch, and she's like, "Oh yeah, look at all those eggs you got there. So we're gonna come by. You're gonna have to take this med for a few weeks, and then we'll come take your eggs and freeze them." And she's like, "All right." But they're like, "Oh, how are you gonna hide these from Cena?" I'm like, "I'll hide them in my purse. I'll just do them on the road. I'll just do them in the secret bathroom." Like, he can't come backstage, can he? Yeah, good luck with that. Now they Eva Marie talks to John, and it's like, "Hey, do you mind converting all your religious beliefs just for the wedding?" And he's like, "No, this is something I truly believe in." And I'm just like, yeah, we have a happy medium. Like, have an outdoor wedding at a venue that's not a church. Like, that makes everyone happy. You don't have to worry about infringing on anyone's religion, and then just get a priest that believes in everything. Don't they have like, what was it? I think it was in Futurama or Simpsons or something. Someone had like a minister that was like part of all religious beliefs, and he had like this robe, and it had like every single religious symbol on it, and it's just like, "Hey, I'm good for anything." It's like, "You're a Jew and you're married a Christian? No problem, I can handle that." I'm pretty sure in a New Yorker accent too. Someone comment down below. It has to have been like some type of like united, like, okay, I'll handle all religions, no problem. I know Homer got like ordained as a minister, and that was the big whole, "Hey, one of Marge's twin sisters is gay, but I marry her." And the girl she was going to marry turned out to be a dude, and he's like, "Oh, you still want to get married?" It's like, "No, I like women." So apparently Eva's just like, "No, we're going to have a Catholic wedding because my dad's dying, so let's go ahead and do that." And she's like, "Oh, I'll convert John." I'm like, "Yeah, good luck with that." But he's probably smart enough to be like, "You know what? I could call off the wedding. I could get divorced. But then again, there's a whole WWE locker room of guys just waiting to pounce on that ass." So yeah, keep your options open, buddy. Let's see here. Holy shit, I already talked about that. Okay, so the last bit is Rosa Mendes' first match back against Natalya, and I think this was taped a few months prior to WrestleMania because Rosa Mendes was in WrestleMania with dyed hair. I'm pretty sure she had like a brighter hair color in the Battle Royal. I just never brought that up. So apparently it was not all that good. Basically, the way they cut it up in editing, it looked like Natalya did all the work, and she did like, Rosa took some good bumps, but she was just, But then she came out, she's like, "I sucked. I couldn't run the ropes. I was bumping wrong. I was doing all this," and it's like, well, at least there's a diva out there that knows that she sucks, right? And then she starts crying, and Tally's just like, "Oh God, I don't want to deal with this." And gives her like a little sympathetic hug. And it's like, "Look, calm down, calm down. You'll get better eventually. Don't listen to what the girls are talking about in the background and talking about you behind your back. They talk about everyone behind their back, so don't worry about it." Yeah, it's like, "Oh, get your hair done. You'll be fine." And we end the episode on what seems like something innocent. Nikki just drinking coffee, and then John Cena's just like, can I ask you something?" She's like, "Sure." And he's like, "What the hell is this? Dun dun dun!" And he holds up like some weird, like it's like a tube of something like this, and like meds in a bowl, and then that's where the episode ends with like the horrible music. And then of course we get the obligatory, because this is the premiere. We get what's coming up this season. Obviously the last 4 or 5 months of television. So Daniel Bryan relinquishing his belt because he broke his neck and had to get surgery, which they're still blaming it on Kane, even though it was well beyond broken before then. I always love how they make it seem like one thing caused the injury when the other thing didn't. Like, case in point, John Cena tore his pec off of his bones completely. Was going to be out for a year or so, but they attributed to Randy Orton giving him an RKO before their last minute standing match, when in fact that Mr. Kennedy gave him an arm drag and he took it wrong, or he did the arm drag and took it wrong. Although everyone blames Kennedy anyway, so you know. So yeah, there's that. There's the surgery, and then they showed the clip of Bree's horrible acting. He's like, "You can't fire me. I quit." Like this weird high pitch, like she never raised her voice in her life or something. They show the return of Summer Rae to get into her feud with Fandango and Layla, and then like scenes of her shooting the guns to get ready for the Marine 4. Interesting subplot that Rosa might be gay or bi. She's like, "I got it bad and I need someone muscular," and it looks like she's like trying to like force herself on the Natty or like some other divas. I'm like, hey, give Paige a call. I know she's bi. What else is coming up? The breakup of the Funkadactyls. And they're just like, "Oh, we need to break up." And the horrible way of them breaking up was that Cameron just like putting lip gloss on during tag matches. Ooh, horrible. Could Eva Marie's dad die? Because there's like this shaky moment where she's like, "Oh my God," and she like runs away. Oh God, like please tell me that if it's not story, that they have like the decency to not show it out of respect. I imagine if he's really dead, like he were in some type of bad news, like this would have gotten posted earlier. So I'm guessing this is part of the show. It's just like, "Oh, just feign your." I'm like, if that's the thing, just that's in bad taste, and I would find offense for that because, like I said, I lost my dad to cancer. So, cat fights aplenty. There's like they pull over the side of the road and have a cat fight with Summer Rae. She's still generating heat somehow. That's her duty, I guess. Possible divorce between Natalya and Tyson Kidd. It's like, "Oh, Tyson doesn't kiss me the way he used to anymore." I'm like, "God, you guys have been married for like what, 2 years now? You're the only guy and girl you guys have ever been with. You grew up in Calgary." Dramatic pause. Alberta, Canada. We're like, if you were married into wrestling, you're gonna be a wrestler. I bet they met in high school, and it's just like, "Oh, I beat my dad, Jimmy Anvil Neidhart," and he took him down to the dungeon. Stu stretched him. It's like, "It's gonna put you behind that, and you feel it now." He's like, "You want to be a wrestler?" Oh, that doing Stu Hart voice killed your throat. And then more drama with Nikki and John Cena, because why not? Like, it's very clear that either they're doing this for like this is real life, or Nikki's just like, "I'm going to hold on because he's John Cena, he's the one for me, and he's 7 figures, and he's the best WWE guy there is. I want to stay for him for that." I don't know how far this is going to go. I think the season 4 finale will be the SummerSlam match between Stephanie and Brie, where Nikki turns heel, and then has the whole like, "Why, Nikki? Why? Oh my God, I've always hated Brie. She's such a bitch." Instead of like, you left me alone and I get beat up now. I hate you. I don't know. There's like no way that could have come into play, but Nikki's gonna get the belt at Night of Champions, so who cares, right? The Divas belt will finally be on the Total Divas after 3 seasons. There's still a cliffhanger to lead off with John Cena and Nikki, but from what I've seen, it looks like it's. I don't know. This could be the end. I don't know, but Nikki and John have been together at other events, so who knows? What am I doing this so? Okay. Episode next week. Now the thing is that the way that these episodes are coming out in the next couple weeks are going to be like I'm filming them right after I watch them at 10 o'clock Atlantic time, 9 o'clock Eastern. But I got fucked over at my job, and I got to work Sundays now, so I'm going to be missing pay-per-views, and I'm working Mondays, so I'm going to be missing Raw. So I'm going to be way behind on wrestling for a while. So I will try my damnedest to get these out on a timely basis for you guys. If I have to stay up late when I get home at midnight, rewatch it on a replay, and then tape it at 1 a.m., and then release it the next day, I will goddamn do that. Because, I don't know, you guys like to hear me ramble about the Total Divas show, or you like to listen to us. I'm not going to like bring only in if the views are down. I mean, I'm just going to do this because I feel like venting and ranting about this show and how utterly stupid it can be sometimes. Anyways, guys, we'll see you next week for episode 2 of season 3. If this preview is any indication, it's going to be a rough one. Highlight of the show, Titus O'Neil.